You're a useless man if you're at least not capable of violence. Imagine going through this life never mastering the art of fighting, never fulfilling your masculine role of being a protector, strong alpha male that your woman can depend on, somebody that your family can trust, and along with that, never gaining the discipline, resilience, and tenacity it takes to master a fighting sport, which will bleed into other areas of your life, benefiting you. On the other hand, imagine how good you would be if you took the time to learn, how much your body would change, how much stronger, more dense and compact your muscles would be, more lean and toned, and the mental benefits as well, like that discipline, the resilience, tenacity, never giving up, noticing how that bleeds into other areas of your life, your relationship, your business, your success in life, your view and your outlook, your values. Believe it or not, a lot of it can be dependent on your masculine instinct of fighting, being capable of violence. All right, on to the juicy part. How I learned to fight in about 5 months. All right, so tip number one, and probably the most important one in my opinion, training at a club, whether it's boxing, judo, martial arts, wrestling, blah, blah, blah. Training at a club is a prerequisite. But for me, what helped skyrocket my progress and help me get ahead of everybody else I was training with was my own individual training routines. And I would do that consistently every single day. And I treated it like the gym. So if you are doing that on top of going to your judo club or whatever club, like twice a week or whatever, view it this way. Say you're in a classroom and you're all reading this book that you're gonna do a project on or whatever. But every student only reads whenever there's class. Like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, there's class and you have to read, and we only read in class. But there's that one outlier. There's the one student who becomes obsessed with the book and he really likes it and he can't contain himself, so he decides to read ahead. He kind of advances versus other people that are kind of like, I don't really care about this book or whatever. And then come the next class, he's prepared, like he already knows what happens in the book. That's kind of how it was for me, and it still is. I still do my judo training, even though I've gone through my fair share of injuries, which kind of set me back. But I'm still doing this. I'm still training every day. I do my own little band work. I train in the backyard with my brother, and we really focus on techniques and doing it nice and slow to just perfect our technique. And this is how it is with everything, business, it's basically this principle I live by. If you want to accomplish more than everybody else, if you want to be better than everybody else, you have to be willing to do more than everybody else. It's really that simple. Point number two, and this one is also equally or even more important than the last point, because without this, the last point will be very difficult for you to do. And it is becoming obsessed with the grind and passionate for it. Because if it's not something you're obsessed with and something you really, really have a deep desire in your heart to do, then it's going to be really hard to push yourself to do it when days when you don't want to, for example. And yeah, discipline is a powerful thing. It really is. I'm not undermining discipline, but you're not always going to feel like doing it, right? And don't get me wrong. Again, I'm a big fan of doing what you have to do regardless of your feelings. A lot of the times you're just going to dread doing it. And a lot of the times what helps people succeed in whatever they're doing, obviously there's discipline, but also there's joy. Looking forward to doing it, the love for the thing, the love for the grind. And if you have that paired with discipline, you'll be unstoppable. And you can apply that to other aspects of your life. Like say you're passionate about a certain business model and you look forward to do it. You're gonna succeed in no time because you're constantly working on it, because you actually love doing it. It's like a video game. You can't like stay away from it. It's like an addiction. And that's like a healthy addiction. Being addicted to like a sport and a fighting martial art, because not only are you going to get better at it and increase your confidence through self-defense, but your body and your physique is going to change. Your stamina, your cardiovascular health is going to increase, your confidence, your muscles. It's awesome, guys. And you're going to notice this bleed into other areas of self-improvement. It really all starts with martial arts and fighting. And I believe every man should. Like, we all should. You're a useless man if you're at least not capable of violence. Because if you're nice and jacked, okay, that's cool, but it's useless if you can't really use it efficiently. And in my opinion, using it efficiently means in a self-defense scenario. Imagine how sad it would be if you were all like muscular and stuff and you got in a fight with like a skinny dude, a dude who's smaller than you, but he knew how to fight and he whooped your ass. How would you feel? I pray it doesn't happen to you, but guys, this is why we gotta prepare. Subscribe to the Joey Gonzalez channel because I'm gonna be giving you guys martial arts advice on the weekly basis. And my next point of how I advanced really quickly in my judo journey is I watched a lot of tutorials of techniques on YouTube, and also I watched Olympic level matches of other judokas, and I really observed closely especially the fighters that had like a similar fighting style that I wanted to imitate. I really just took the time to observe it and like study their techniques, and I really enjoy it. Like I would at the gym when I was doing my cardio on a treadmill, I'd just look up Ono Shohei versus who's that other guy that from Azerbaijan or whatever. I just watch like the best guys in the game fight, and I really study it, and then I try to practice it whenever we do randori in practice, which means sparring. But with videos, yeah, I would look up the techniques that I wanted to learn, and when you're first starting judo, for example, don't overwhelm yourself. It's better to stick to 1 to 2 techniques at first, then really just grind the hell out of it until you perfect it. So I would just look up uchimata, which is my favorite throw. It's the inner thigh throw. So I would look up a bunch of tutorials on how to do it, and different people, like, because everybody has their own different style and unique style of doing it, and it's good to gain a different multi perspective on a technique, because that'll open your eyes to multiple ways to do something. And I would then put it into play on my own individual training, because I have a judo dummy, and that really helped me progress, is investing in a judo dummy. That is a really good way to advance in any sport. So I'll link below the judo dummy that I actually bought from Amazon, and I would practice the techniques that I learned from YouTube on my own and in sparring and randori at my judo club. And that really helped skyrocket my progress. Guys, if you're trying to step up your physique and you're not happy with how you look, you want to get leaner, you want to get stronger, more athletic, apply to my one-on-one coaching for a chance to work with me one-on-one. My next point is sparring, randori. So guys, we learn by doing. In the last point, we talked about how I watched other people and techniques. You also learn by seeing, but it's kind of like the whole concept of self-improvement being masturbation. It's futile if you continue to study and study but never take action. You never apply what you learn into the real life scenario. So guys, it's really important to advance in a sport by doing the actual thing. So in this case, sparring, fighting with other people, applying the techniques that you want to learn with them, trial and error, failing, falling flat on your back, learning from your mistakes, telling yourself, oh, I did that wrong, so I'll never do that again. Oh, I took the wrong step. Oh, I used too much energy during this technique. I gotta like tweak my technique a little bit. That was what really helped me as well, because you can train all you want on your own and you will advance in like this side of your game, but this side of your game is going to lack entirely, because this side of your game you can only practice through randori and sparring in real life scenarios, because you can only get so far with throwing a light 50-pound judo dummy and doing like elastic band exercises. You'll learn so much more, honestly, if you're sparring with an actual human being. And the other point here is competitions, guys. So I'm not a huge fan of competitions, to be honest. I mean, it does really get your mindset up and your resilience up and your masculinity and your inner masculine competitiveness out, and I'm a big fan of that. But at the same time, it's really, especially for beginners, you really increase the risk of injury, guys. And I almost died. I sprained my neck one time. I sprained my AC joint, all due to judo injuries, and I just realized that it's not really worth the risk anyway, because I'm not trying to be some Olympic fighter. But guys, you will advance, like if you've done a couple competitions, I've noticed like it improves me ×2. Like after like one competition, I went to practice the next week and I felt so superior to everybody else, in a humble way, but it's true. Competitions like 10x your progress. So if you're into competitions, I definitely recommend it. Just really be careful. Take the fall. There's no need to have your ego involved. Like if somebody's about to throw you, don't resist, because that's when injuries happen. Like when you try to post and stick your arm out, and then the opponent's like pushing you down, you might even like bust your arm. It's not worth it, guys. It's just an amateur like novice match. You're not trying to win some Olympic title. And guys, I really believe learning how to fight is really important. Having a good, strong physique is important, but what's the point of having these muscles if you can't use it in real life scenarios? And I actually broke down all of that topic in this video here. So definitely click this video and I'll see you guys there.